With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back, trackside once again, race fans here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, Swift Motorsports heads back to Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Queen City 118 here in Performance Motorsports Truck Series. That's right, 118 laps around this 1.5 mile quad oval. We watched an exciting, great race unfold last night in the Swift Motorsports Ayers iRacing Paints ARCA Menards Series. Will we have another great race on hand? How you doing? How you feeling out there in TV land, race fans? Glad you could all join us. As always, Dark Side Dave in the cave, bringing you all the calls from the track side here tonight. Final few minutes here in a happy hour winding down. Looks like the man top of the speed charts right now. Driver in the Great House Toyota Tundra, Austin Hill, the 16, top of the speed charts right now. Quick time 29.95. Jim Ott in the 4, right behind him, so very close, just about 1/100th of a second separating the top 3 on the speed charts here in happy hour. And as we wind down the final few moments here in happy hour, let's get to a little bit of the official race business coming in to race number 4 here in season number 2 for Swift Motorsports. There you see top of your points standings. Last week's race winner, Alan Young in the 86, drove it to victory lane. That's put him just in front of Nick Hunt. Todd Cray right there, still chomping at the bits. Jonathan Holston right there in 4th, rounding out the top 5. Edward Bray. Jim Thorndike with a solid run last week. Can he have yet another solid run and continue his climb up through the points? There you can see some very tight battles as you reach back around the 10th spot, being occupied by Britt Crawford. Just a 2-point advantage over Kevin Haas. Larry Poling right there, just 3 points out. Michael Atkins Jr. not very far in front of Crawford either, so still very close points battles all through the field, as we might expect. Coming into tonight's race number 4 in season number 2 for the Swift Motorsports Performance Truck Series. Man, oh man, I tell you what, race fans, it is going to be another barn burner. Let's see if we can't get a little bit closer to the action. Who's out there? Looks like Ron Schutte in the 28 machine. He's out on track. Why don't we go down trackside with that 28 truck? There you see a little bit of your happy hour information on the left-hand side of your screen. Austin Hill, top of the speed charts. Jim Ott right there in a 2nd. Cade Atkins right there in a 3rd. Michael Atkins Jr. right there in 4th. Todd Cray, Jim Thorndike 5th and 6th. Jim Hunt in 7th. Gary Wells in 8th. Jason Ayerson right now sitting in 9th, and Edward Bray rounding out the top 10 here as far as the speed charts, as far as the speed is concerned in happy hour. Will these drivers be able to translate that over when we switch to qualifying here in just about another 30-45 seconds? So we'll do away with some of these graphics here. We'll wait just a few more seconds. Seems like it's about 30 seconds or so before we will see that red flag fly here in happy hour, and we will get set to switch things on over to qualifying. So with that being said, we're going to take a small 30-second commercial break. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. And as promised, pause for 31-second commercial break. Green flag being displayed here in qualifying from Charlotte Motor Speedway in the Queen City 118. Let's see who's out there. Jim Thorndike, Ryan Branchew, Austin Hill, Jason Ayerson also out on track. So I tell you what, let's jump out there now with that 6 being piloted by Ryan Branchew, his Chevy Silverado, coming off of turn number 3 and 4. Gonna cross the stripe to begin his first time lap. And there is multiple truck drivers out there. Toby Bird, Jim Thorndike also on track, Andy Starcher, John McMillan on track as well. Multiple drivers out there, so we'll throw up the qualifying information for you down there across the bottom of your screen. You can keep track of some of these drivers as they begin their up-to-speed laps and make their way off of pit road and try to lay down the fast time here in qualifying. Already 1 minute in the books, crossing the line. First time by Ryan Branchew. Gonna go top of the speed charts. Quick time right now, 30:19. Austin Hill, Lee Staples now slots in second. Hill back to third. As we have more drivers put in their qualifying time, we'll run down your qualifying order for you just like that. Over there on the top left of your screen, as these drivers complete their laps, it'll scroll across the top for you there. We'll continue to watch as Branchew completes his second lap. Now going to jump back with the 11 of Chris Scala. Branchew good enough for third. Austin Hill going to take the provisional pole. Hill with a quick time, 30:07, and Jim Thorndike going to snatch it away. Thorndike with a 30:049, so heck of a lap there out of Thorndike. Chris Scala going to cross the line first time by, slotting in the 17th position. Anybody taking Thorndike out doesn't look like they're going to be able to. John McMillan, he's done. Don Kidder is done as well. Few drivers yet to put in a qualifying time. Ron Schutte, Alan Young, Todd Gray, and Michael Atkins Jr. still yet to put in an 8-time lap. Scala going to come across the line to finish his second time lap. Where will he improve to? 18th, 19th on the speed charts. He's going to go all the way to third. Big jump for that 11 of Scala. Jumping back now with race a winner this season, Nick Hunt. Can he put his truck back into victory lane here at Charlotte Motor Speedway? Right now, Jim Thorndike does have the provisional pole in the Queen City 118. Here tonight in 3 minutes now in the books. Just 2 minutes remaining in qualifying. Multiple drivers yet to put in their time lap. Hunt going to go 17th on the speed charts with his first time lap. Where does Michael Atkins Jr. go with his first time lap? Keep an eye on him. He jumps to 13th. Larry Poling, Cade Atkins, as well as Gary Wells, John McMillan, and Justin Gain, all yet to put in a qualifying time, coming through 3 and 4. Back through the quad oval here to the line, crossing the line. Nick Hunt gonna slot all the way up to 9th. And where does Michael Atkins Jr. go across the line? Right there he is, 16th on the speed charts. Where's he jump to? Top of the board. Top of the board. Quick time 29:994 for Atkins. Man, oh man, talk about getting it done right there. Last final few seconds in qualifying. Just 45 seconds, as a matter of fact, remain here in qualifying. Nobody up to speed off of pit road, so nobody gonna be able to take that top spot away once again. Fast as usual, Michael Atkins Jr. puts it on top of the pole here tonight for the Queen City 118. And with that being said, race fans, we're going to step away for a brief commercial break. Head down trackside for the national anthem, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the boats bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Back track side as drivers begin to hit the starting grid. Just waiting for a few more trucks to hit the starting grid for tonight's Queen City 118 here in race number 4, season 2 for the Swift of Motorsports. Glad you all could join us once again, race fans. If you haven't already, throw these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right-hand side, get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. And what's that? We hear them in the background. That's right, race fans, bells tolling. It's time to run down tonight's starting lineup for the Queen City 118, starting inside row number 1, Michael Atkins Jr. Starting just to his outside, the fast 59 of Jim Thorndike. Inside row number 2, the 21 of Todd Cray, followed by the 16 of Austin Hill. Now as these drivers begin to roll off, row number 3 looks like this. Chris Scala in the 11, followed by John McMullen in the 15. Don Kidder and Jason Harrison gonna make up row number 4. Row number 5 here tonight, the 5 of Lee Staples. And rounding out your top 10, the 00 Popeyes Chevy Silverado of Nick Hunt. Inside row number 6, the 28 of Ron Schutte. Just to his outside, the 86 of Alan Young. 13th position here tonight goes to Ryan Branchew, followed by Jim Ott. Row number 8, Britt Crawford and Sebastian Guggen. In row number 9, David Cameron, followed by Jimmy Cormier. Row number 10, Edward Bray. And rounding out your top 20, Kevin Haas. Brian Hitt's going to start in the 21st starting position. Andy Starcher back there in 22nd. Toby Bird, 23rd. Stephen Ayers Jr. going to line up in the 24th spot. 25th is Cade Atkins. John McMullen right there in 26th. As the pace car gets ready to duck off, race fans, we're ready to go green flag racing for the first time. And on the gas, flag in the air, green out here at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the first time tonight in the Queen City 118. Down through turn number 1, no problem at all for your pole sitter, Michael Atkins Jr. He scoots away. Todd Cray makes a move to the bottom. He's going to take the second spot. Now dig in, try to see if he can't run down your race leader. Can Michael Atkins Jr. lead the first lap? Looks like he's going to be able to. We'll switch up a little bit closer to this action. Nose to tail trucks already battling all over this racetrack very early. Michael Atkins Jr. indeed does lead that first lap. We'll take a little further look back as the field gets around this very fast raceway. Battle going on all the way through your top 5, nose to tail. Right now, back off of turn 2. There you see a separate pack, excuse me, already beginning to form. And it looks like that starts right around the 16th spot. Jimmy Cormier right there. It has David Cameron, Edward Bray, Kevin Haas, Andy Starcher, and Kate Atkins all right there with them running nose to tail around this speedway. Looks like gaps beginning to develop already at the front of the field. Michael Atkins Jr. starting with a 0.2 of a second race advantage already over the 21 of Todd Cray. Single file racing already here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Looks like drivers trying to settle in just a little bit, feel the trucks out for the long run here. Will we see a small number of cautions the way we seen a small number of cautions last night? Only 3 cautions in last night's Southeast Beast 110 here for the Ayers Eye Racing Paints Arca Menard Series. Tonight, though, the Performance Truck Series presented to you by Swift Motorsports. On tap, big lead already for Michael Atkins Jr. Almost 0.4 of a second. Todd Gray has broke away from the field as well. Battle now back for the 3rd spot between Jim Thorndike and Chris Scala. Scala gonna lose that spot. Thorndike gonna head back into the top 3. Thorndike did start up in that 2nd position. Can he run back down? Todd Cray, maybe the tire pressures, the temperatures just not up to Thorndike's liking here on the initial start of the race. Had to get a little bit of heat in the tires, and now he looks to head back towards the front of the field. Austin Hill now taking a spot away from Chris Scala. Scala going to try to keep from sliding back into the clutches of John McMillan. There you can see that iRacing 15 Chevy Silverado right there. You see it, that blue Chevy Silverado nestled right in between Austin Hill and Don Kidder. Kidder in that familiar Intimidator good wrench paint scheme, running that 3 truck, and right behind him, my man Popeyes looking good out there. Popeyes gonna jump to the bottom. Hunt gonna take the spot away without any real battle right there. Looked like Kidder just went ahead and said, go ahead, you can have it. Looks like you're a little faster right now. We'll battle this thing on out a little bit later. Now battling with Ron Schutte is Kidder on the outside. Kidder getting stuck on that high lane, and he is getting freight trained right now. There you see Schutte trying to complete the pass, and he's going to open up the door for Jason Harrison to come through as well. Just behind your race leaders, Jim Thorndike, he has got company. Austin Hill closing the distance. That's also going to bring Chris Scala as well as John McMillan right there into that mix, into that battle for the top spots in the podium right now. Very, very contested. There you can see that battle between your top 2 drivers, Michael Atkins Jr. and Todd Cray, just under 0.2 of a second separating them. But right here on battle on track, Jim Thorndike, Austin Hill, Chris Scala, John McMillan, Nick Hunt, Ron Schutte, they're all nose to tail once again. So the long train of trucks has started. Everybody kind of closing back in. They got a little spread out over the first handful of laps, but now you see this big, long train of single-file trucks heading down the backstretch back into turn number 3. This field is as packed together as you might see them at one of the super speedways Under 1 second separates your entire top 10. So make no bones about it, race fans. These drivers not laying back at all early here. They are clicking off the laps in a hurry. 12 laps in to tonight's 118 lap race here for the Queen City 118. Off of turn number 4, the 28 of Schutte finally makes that pass on Kidder, but Kidder not going away. He's going to look to the bottom. He's got the spot on entry. Can he make the pass through the center? Nope. Going to stay side by side with Ron Schutte on that outside. He's able to keep the momentum and keep the spot for the time being. Will that inside lane prevail for Kidder? Not able to get there just yet. Now to the outside of Kidder comes Ayrson. Ayrson right there, as well as Alan Young, last week's race winner. Young looking to make it a 4-truck battle as they head into turn number 4. A 4-truck battle for the top, for some top spots inside the top 10. Schutte, Ayrson, and Kidder kind of fall back in line. Looks like they'll jockey a few positions for the time being. Looks like they very well may just fall in line here for a moment. We'll go back to this battle right here at the front because Austin Hill, he was able to make his way up and around Jim Thorndike and take that 3rd spot away. Has since gapped Thorndike by almost a half a second, and he is slowly closing in on your top 2 runners, Todd Cray and your race leader, Michael Atkins Jr. Very soon, I believe Austin Hill might just break into that 2-truck battle at the front. We'll go back there. You see it right here on your screen, race fans, and I'm telling you, Hill is coming. He is going to get there. We'll throw a little bit of the graphics and information up for you on the screen as soon as we learn to take the other graphics off the screen. Boom, there you have it. Now you can read it. Got the top speeds right there, as well as the intervals between your top 3 as Todd Cray continues to hound Michael Atkins Jr. He's going to stick the nose there. Looking in the rear view, I think he's seen just how fast Austin Hill was closing, and now Cray is wanting to go ahead and dispose of your pole sitter, your race leader, Michael Atkins Jr. Now it's a 3-truck battle at the front of the field. Jim Thorndike has fallen off pace, about a second off of this 3-truck battle at the front of the field. Thorndike does have John McMullen, as well as Chris Scala, Nick Hunt, Ron Schutte, Jason Ayrson, and Alan Young right behind him, rounding out your top 10. Big battle at the front of this track. Will these drivers keep it clean? We've been clean and green since the drop of the green flag on the start of the initial start of the race. Todd Cray now looking to be the first driver to lead a lap beside your pole sitter, digging on the bottom. Little bit of a push, little bit of draft help for Todd Cray. Austin Hill, he's going to look to the bottom. He's going to pull his truck to that inside lane down the back stretch. Pull even now with Michael Atkins Jr. He's going to battle for that 2nd spot. Slide in right here through the center of 3. Up off of 4. Put Hill into the 2nd spot. Now he's looking to the inside of Todd Cray. New race leader Todd Cray able to finally put a lap in. A lap lead in his back pocket. Austin Hill right there battling for that spot, trying to grab one of those precious points for leading a lap. Cray off of 4, still has Hill in tow. Michael Atkins Jr. falling off just a little bit. John McMillan able to make a pass on Jim Thorndike for the 4th spot, that time off of turn number 4. Thorndike gonna slide now back in the 5th spot. Chris Scala in 6th. Nick Hunt still running in the 7th spot. Jason Harrison right there in 8th. 9th is Alan Young, and Ron Schutte rounds out your top 10. Want to stay here with this battle, but want to give you a little bit more of the action. There you see some more of these Swift Motorsports Performance Truck Series drivers battling it out on track. That's a battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th on track right now, and almost into that outside wall. Big time moment. Oh, that was big for the 15. John McMullen almost had a big time moment, almost hard into that outside wall, almost pancaking that truck. That could have ended very, very bad for Scala, but not Scala, I apologize. McMullen. Scala just a few trucks behind him right there. And that 11 machine trying to track down Jim Thorndike. Now looking to the inside of Thorndike. Not going to make the move just yet. He'll slot back behind, back at the front of the field. Battle has not went away. Austin Hill still trying to get by your race leader all over his rear deck lid, and this is what it kind of looks like from the cockpit of that 16 machine. Will go down on board with Austin Hill, driver of the Great House Toyota Tundra, getting the job done right here. There you see, race fans, just how close this battle is. Oh, having to get out of the gas, almost into that outside wall. Big time moment there for Hill. Luckily, he kept it out of the wall. Great job by him, as well as multiple other drivers out there on track so far. 25 laps in to this green flag run, and I would venture to say, race fans, we're going to see some green flag pit stops here in the next, I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 laps. Battle at the front still raging on as Todd Cray continues to try to keep Austin Hill behind him. Michael Atkins Jr. still slotted in that 3rd position right now, running on the track. Larger field here tonight for the Queen City 118. We have 29 drivers here tonight. Looks like we have still got, well, I apologize, 27 drivers took to the starting grid here tonight. We've still got all but one driver running out there on track. Looks like the 4 of Jim Odd. He has had some troubles and some issues onto pit road and out of tonight's race. We do have green flag pit stops underway. Looks like Jimmy Cormier as well as Toby Bird, Larry Poling, all bringing their machine down to pit road for a scheduled stop. When will we see your race leaders hit pit road? Looks like they're eyeballing it now. Austin Hill right there, hugging that blue and white line off of 4. Very good exit that time for that 16. Close battle right here for 3rd and 4th, just behind the race leaders. Michael Atkins Jr., he's got John McMullen in tow. McMullen making a splash after going to victory lane. Last night, debut race in the trucks in the K&N series, and he put it in victory lane. Can he make his way to the podium? Looks like Todd Cray as well as Michael Atkins Jr., both of those drivers going to come to pit road. Nick Hunt, Jason Harrison, Ron Schutte, Don Kidder, and Cade Atkins all make their way down pit road for their scheduled stops. Your new race leader, Austin Hill, at the front of the field. What will Hill do this time by? Will he bring it to pit road? We'll have to wait and see how it all shakes out, how it all plays out here tonight. 16 of Hill to pit road. Will McMullen join him? Yes, he does. Thorndike also bringing it to pit road. Scala on the brakes hard. Coming to pit road. That's how you gain time. Getting onto pit road right there. Multiple more drivers. Lee Staples also bringing his machine back down to pit road. So that's going to leave us with a battle right here. And no battle really at all. Look at this. Todd Cray has stepped away. A 5-second advantage over Michael Atkins Jr. Not quite sure what happened there to Michael Atkins Jr., but he has fallen way behind after this first round of green flag pit stops. Todd Cray, yes, indeed, goes back to the top of the speed charts, back to the top of the scoring pile. Todd Cray back leading the race. Looking down through the timing and scoring, not seeing too much out of ordinary for these pit crews. It just looks like Todd Cray just destroyed the field, getting on and off pit road. Almost a 2-second difference getting on and off pit road. Todd Cray, pit road delta on and off pit road 41.75. Closest driver even remotely close to him with a 43.27. So just absolutely making tons of ground here. 2 seconds on and off pit road, race fans, and that's it right there. Almost a 6.5 second race advantage now enjoyed by the 21 of Todd Cray. He does have a few back markers right there in front of him. Not back markers yet. John McMullen in that 75 trying to stay on the lead lap. Jimmy Cormier just in front of him in that Remco Chevy Silverado, the 95, trying to stay on the lead lap as well. We've still got 23 drivers left on the lead lap, but your race leader in heavy traffic. And will that allow this field to catch up? Will it allow the field to make some gains? We'll go back through the field here in just a brief moment, run down some of your top 10 drivers. And I tell you what, we'll go ahead and start right here. There you see your race leader in some heavy lap traffic right now. Todd Cray in that top spot, leading the field, leading the way tonight. Lap number 36 now underway. Driver sitting back in the second spot on track. There you can see the 41 of Michael Atkins Jr. makes his way into turn number 2 off of turn 3. Your pole sitter, Michael Atkins Jr., trying to get up there and trying to close that gap to Cray, but Cray has absolutely stepped away from this field. My goodness, 5-second race advantage now for your race leader. Driver in the third spot here tonight, rounding out your podium finishes, if we were to end things right here, that 00 Popeyes Chevy Silverado being piloted by Nick Hunt. Good solid run once again here by Hunt. Driver back in the fourth spot, not very far back from Hunt though. Jason Ayrson right there with a good solid run so far here tonight, up 4 positions from where he started tonight's race. So Ayrson moving to the front. Last driver inside your top 5 in a very hotly contested spot on the track. Alan Young has the spot. Cade Atkins, Jim Thorndike, John McMullen, and Chris Scala all right there in tow. This is where the heat's at on the track right now at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the Queen City 118. Battle still raging on here for the 5th spot on the track. Cade Atkins in that 2 machine does have the spot. Alan Young hot on his trail. Jim Thorndike, Chris Scala, they all want a piece of the action. Don Kidder slowly closing in. There you can see that good wrench number 3. Making some gains back in the 9th spot, trying to close the gap on the Scala up in front. Ron Schutte right there in tow with Kidder. John McMullen in the 75. I believe that is the 15 of John McMullen. He's had some issues. What's happened here? Looking through, not seeing anything out of the ordinary. John McMillan already back to pit road. Could this be some type of long fuel mileage strategy here? We'll have to keep an eye on the scoring charts. See how long he is stationary down there in his pit stall. No, I think, race fans, that is going to be a long stay. Looks like there very well may be some damage on the side of that 15 truck. Scooting away from Jen Thorndike is Cade Atkins. Now Thorndike looking to try to walk away from Alan Young and Chris Scala. Young able to make the pass just a lap ago on Scala. Put Young now up into the 7th spot. No real battle at the front unless you want to see this battle right here. Battle for that 2nd spot still raging on. Nick Hunt trying to take that 2nd spot away from Michael Atkins Jr., but your pole sitter is being a little bit stubborn here, not trying to give up the spot, not trying to give up the position as they work their way back off of turn number 2, back down this back stretch. Long green flag run now here tonight as we are closing slowly in on the halfway point here tonight. There you see that 95 gonna fall to yet another truck in the pack. Michael Atkins Jr. continues to try to keep Nick Hunt behind him, and I'm just wondering when Popeye's gonna pop that spinach can and go ahead and get this pass done. There you can find Popeye trying to run down Michael Atkins Jr., not able to make it. Jason Ayerson with a big move to get around the lap machine. Big pull down the back stretch for that 44. He's able to make the pass and do away with the lap traffic very, very quickly. And as we continue this long green flag run, we're beginning to have trucks almost all the way around the speedway here tonight. Your race leader, Todd Cray, there you can see him crossing the line to begin lap number 47. Out of the 118 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. And Cray is going to continue to run into some lap traffic. We'll look back here. 2nd spot, Michael Atkins Jr. battling with Nick Hunt. That is quite the battle at this point in time. Want to look back through some of the field, and it looks like we may have some drivers with some trouble. We may have some drivers with some issues. Trying to look through some of the information. We have a few more drivers being scored off the track. Looks like Toby Bird, Austin Hill also joined Jim Ott off of the racetrack. Not showing any signs of anything going wrong, so maybe some mechanical failures for those drivers and unfortunately not able to repeat the podium finish here this week. Austin Hill gonna finish in the 26th spot here tonight in the Queen City 118. Back at the front of the field, your race leader Todd Cray continues to lead this three-truck battle on track as we continue this long stretch of green flag. Little bit of information on the battle you see on screen. Nick Hunt all over the rear deck lid of Jason Ayerson, not able to get by him, just all over the rear deck lid of Michael Atkins Jr. with Jason Ayerson just behind him. There's a look back off of that Popeyes Chevy, the Silverado, looking back at the very hungry Jason Ayerson. Back to the front view right here. There you can see just above the hood, looking forward at Michael Atkins Jr. Nick Hunt sounds like he's pushing in the clutch a little bit here. Maybe clutching, trying to stretch the fuel a little bit as we begin to close in on that halfway point here tonight. Lap 52 out of the 118 scheduled in the official race distance. And Nick Hunt, he is there. He is all over Michael Atkins Jr. Do want to take a brief moment to thank the crew down there on that 00, allowing us to put some of these great cameras on the truck to provide you with some great camera shots from the truck here tonight. Trackside for the Queen City 118 here in Swift Motorsports Performance Truck Series. Kevin Haas going to bring his machine to pit road. We'll check timing and score and keep an eye on that. See if that is a scheduled pit stop. Closing in right around where we might see those second pit stops. Drivers going to have to make at least 2 more stops here tonight. They've already hit pit road 1 time, but they're going to have to hit pit road at least 2 more times to try to make it to the end of tonight's Queen City 118 here from Charlotte Motor Speedway, the world center of racing, nestled just up the road from Bruton Smith Boulevard, running pretty much head on right into this racetrack here in Concord, North Carolina. Beautiful racing facility, beautiful infield road course. The Roval being introduced just a few years ago, and that has been an absolutely sensational add to an already iconic speedway such as Charlotte Motor Speedway. These truck drivers showing you exactly why this track is so good. Long green flag runs filled with all types of battles. Back here through the field, you can see another battle raging on. Stephen Guggen right there trying to run down that Pabst Blue Ribbon. 08 piloted by Britt Crawford. There you see Crawford trying to slowly see if he can't close in some time on Lee Staples. Staples sitting about 13 seconds in front of Crawford. So a tall task at hand for drivers sitting outside of your top 10 right now. That would be Edward Bray, Lee Staples, Britt Crawford, Sebastian Guggen, as well as John McMillan, Brian Hitz, Ryan Branchew, David Cameron, Stephen Ayers Jr., and Kevin Haas. Round out your top 20. Round out the drivers left on the lead lap. Looks like Andy Starcher being scored as the first car off of the lead lap. Or I apologize. Now McMillan, Hitz, and Branchew all going to fall a lap as well. And there you see your race leader not very far behind, putting Sebastian Guggen and Britt Crawford down a lap. Looks like Stephen Ayers Jr., he's going to bring his machine to pit road as well. A little long of a stop there for Jimmy Cormier, his 95 machine in his pit for upwards of 30 seconds, so about twice as long as what is needed. So a little bit of damage control down there on pit road. And Jason Harrison gonna bring his 44 machine to pit road this time by. We'll see how he goes. Everything looks like it's normal on pit road for him. Back to the battle on the track. Michael Atkins Jr. still has Nick Hunt in tow. Alan Young has made up some ground, and Todd Cray gonna come to pit road and contact. Nick Hunt goes around. Oh my gosh, does he save it? Pancakes it finally off the outside. Oh, in contact. Scala gonna hit him. Oh my goodness. We stay in caution now, finally coming out on the racetrack. Oh my goodness, race fans, that was a long one in the making. Man. Whew. Let's go back, see how all this went down. Here you can see drivers beginning to make their way to pit road. Michael Atkins Jr. on the binders. On the binders is the 00 and the 95. Doesn't see it. Right into the back of him, and then we'll watch. I mean, he did a heck of a job. Nick Hunt did one heck of a job. We'll watch it back one more time here. Watch as Nick Hunt trying to save it. The 95 right there, not able to check up in time, right into the rear end of the 00. Trying to save it, wiggling, shaking it. Oh, it breaks loose on him into the outside wall. Thought he had it, and poor Chris Scala comes up out of nowhere, and bam, whammo, there you see it. Scala trying to, and hard impact to the front, hard impact on the side. There you heard the motor out, and that is going to put that driver out of tonight's race. Big time trouble there for the 00. Big time trouble for the 11 of Chris Scala. Michael Atkins Jr. also caught up in this latest race incident. Our first caution of the evening coming out just past the halfway point, 62 laps in to tonight's 118 lap race. We will step away for a brief commercial break. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with all your green flag action live here from Charlotte Motor Speedway.
North Carolina, where the field is rolling out for the start of today's 400-lap race on this .625-mile racetrack. Here's the starting lineup. On the pole from Dawsonville, Georgia, in the number 9 Coors Ford qualifying and Winston Cup race from North Wilkesboro is underway. Everybody nicely through turns number 1 and 2 as Bill Elliott has the lead and Dale Earnhardt has jumped into second position, followed by Benny Parsons and Bobby Allison. His second win of 1987.
We got big time problems with that motor, buddy. Hey, just between you and me, the idea is to avoid the other cars. Congratulations! You just set the sport back 30 years with that move. That move will put you in the Hall of Shame. You keep doing stuff like that and we're going to lose our sponsor. Looks like that's it for us today. Now I know why you got canned by your old team. It's over. We can't fix that damage. Looks like your car is toast. You'll need a tow back to pit lane. Press and hold your reset button and we'll come and get you.
Back trackside as the Ford Mustang pace car lights have went out. We're set to go back green flag racing this time by field side by side. For the restart, your race leader, the 21, will have control over the restart. Todd Craig gonna wait for that pace car to make that left-hand turn any moment now, and will get set to fire things back off one more time on the loud pedal. Green flag flies once again here at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the Queen City 118. Jim Thorndike on the bottom, charging to the front. Thorndike back to second. Nose-to-tail battle off of turn number 2. Thorndike has Young and Bray in tow. Lee Staples now breaking into the top 5 for the first time here tonight, just behind that 66 truck. There you can see Staples hunting that a further spot in the top 5, already now sitting in that last spot inside the top 5. Clean and clear restart here on lap number 66 out of the 118 scheduled in the official race distance. Cray not able to step away quite like he was before. Thorndike staying right there with him will when the dirty air would come into factor, and that caution may have saved a few of these drivers trying to come to pit road under green flag conditions, and that very well may have caught a few drivers out. Now looks like Young looking to the inside of Thorndike. There you see another pass in the rear of the field. 86 on the bottom, 59 of Thorndike at the top. Can he hang out in that Harry Gant high, wide, and handsome line? Not going to be able to keep up the fight. Not going to be able to keep the fast, hard charging, fast-moving Alan Young behind him. Young going to take away that second spot. That's going to open a door now for Edward Bray on the inside. He pulls side by side with Thorndike going into 3. Still a nose-to-tail battle from first all the way back through. It looks to be about the 6th spot on track. Britt Crawford right there in that Pabst Blue Ribbon machine being scored off of the lead lap. First truck off of the lead lap. Can he get up there and try to get himself back on the lead lap the good old-fashioned way? But look here, new race leader crossing the line in the top spot for the first time here tonight. Last week's race winner, the 86 of Alan Young, gets to the front of the field for the first time, but charging hard on that outside. Big run off of turn number 2. Todd Cray gonna rock it down the backstretch and try to reclaim that top spot. Oh, very close there through the center of 3 and 4. Looked like the 86 may have gotten out of the gas a little bit, and that's going to put him in danger. He is now under fire. The 2 of Cade Atkins looks to the inside. He's going to make the move into turn 1. He'll move his 2 truck into that second spot and set his sights now on the back end of that 21 of Todd Cray. And I tell you what, race fans, while we've got some time, while we've got the opportunity, why don't we head down trackside for something that you love, I love, you want it, I want it. Let's head down, mute the mics for a little bit of Turn It Up. Absolutely love when we get to head down trackside for some of the sights and sounds here from Charlotte Motor Speedway in the Queen City 118 for Swift Motorsports Performance Truck Series. Leading the race, Todd Cray in that 21. He has taken that top spot and has not let anybody grab it away from him. A few drivers attempted it for a lap or so, but nobody able to keep that 21 at bay as we work our way off of turn 4, crossing the stripe to begin lap number 77 out of the 118 scheduled in the official race distance. Drivers beginning to gap the field. Your top 5 have broken away from the 6th place runner right there. You can see him kind of lonely right now in no man's land. 1 second in front of him to that lead pack, 4 seconds back to the closest driver for position, the 44 of Jason Harrison. So having himself a little bit of cushion to manage tire wear, look at the fuel, and maybe possibly try to pull a strategy maneuver later on, a strategy call later on in the race. Will Lee Staples be able to crack his way back inside the top 5 one more time here tonight? We'll have to wait and see how that all shakes down. Still battling back here. Look at this battle on track. Don Kidder, Ron Schutte with Britt Crawford in tow. Looks like Kevin Haas going to bring his machine to pit road, so Haas down off of the raceway. A lot of these trucks that you see right here in this pack, Michael Atkins Jr., John McMillan, Don Kidder, Jason Harrison, all of those drivers making an early pit stop, getting caught one lap down under that first caution here tonight, and they had to take a wave around start at the tail end of the field, so a little bit behind the 8 ball right from the start on this latest restart. So now looking to make their way up through the field are all these drivers that got caught one lap down. Michael Atkins Jr. leads that charge in the 8th spot. Meanwhile, back at the front of this field, Todd Cray has still got company. Cade Atkins still breathing down his neck. Look in the rear view mirror, and Cray not going to see just Atkins. He's going to see Alan Young. Young has stayed in a line, has stayed in touch with both of these drivers as your top 3 slowly begin to walk away from Edward Bray. Bray now about a half a second back from that 86 of Alan Young. Can Young be our first back-to-back race weekend winner here in the Swift Motorsports Performance Truck Series? We'll have to wait and see how it all shakes out. But right now, that battle is hot and heavy for your top 3 spots on track. Todd Cray continuing to lead the field, and now all he's got to do is lead about maybe 10 more laps or so, and he is going to secure that precious bonus point for leading the most laps in the race. So knocking on the door of yet another bonus point in his back pocket is that 21 of Cray and the 2 of Cade Atkins. He's trying. He's doing everything he can to try to get up there and put his machine into that top spot. Chevy dominated field here tonight. It looks like it's about 8 out of your top 10 drivers on track right now, all in the Chevy powered bow tie. The Ford F-150 piloted by Caden Atkins right there running in the second spot. He is your highest running Ford driver. Highest running Toyota Tundra right now belongs to the 28 of Ron Schutte back in the 10th spot. Under a long green flag run yet again here now, 25 laps into this green flag run. Looks like Alan Young looking to the inside of Caden Atkins, not going to be able to make the move yet. Now looking to do it in turn 1. Down to the inside goes Young, side by side into the center of the corner. Gonna be able to make the pass right there through the center. Doesn't look like Caden fought that very much. He's going to stay in tow because Todd Cray is beginning to step away. Now a half a second race advantage. That's about 5 truck lengths on track. Can Alan Young somehow track him down? Those two didn't waste a lot of time with the battle, and that very well may go into some of the thought process this late in the race. You know, if we get battling, we're going to lose that race leader, so I'll go ahead and let you have it. We'll tuck back in line, and we'll try to run down to that race leader once again, but you got to wonder how much that dirty air is affecting both of these drivers, as now you see Caden Atkins. He falls way back off of the rear deck lid of that 86 machine, so Young is going to have to do it all on his own. Off of the lead lap, but still a battle on track. Ryan Branchew has got Sebastian Guggen closing in on him. That's a battle for the 13th and 14th position on the track. There you can see it right there. Race fans going to throw up your driver information for you. Guggen right there trying to run down Branchew, not able to do it just yet. There you can see the fast time for Guggen, 30.23. Last time by almost a second slower, almost 2 seconds slower. I apologize. So the fall off on these tires is very real and very evident here tonight under the lights at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Queen City 118. We do want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in out there in Raceland. If you haven't already, throw these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right-hand side, get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you when you stop by, whether you're just casually stopping by, the dedicated fan, friend, or family. We appreciate each and every one of you. These drivers also appreciate each and every one of you, so if you haven't already, go ahead and toss them a thumbs up. Long green flag underway once again, and it looks like we have more drivers hitting pit road for what will be their final scheduled pit stop. Jason Ayerson and Ron Schutte gonna pit from 9th and 10th on the track. They'll come to pit road for their final service. Looks like Todd Cray, and here comes, I believe that's Caden Atkins. He made up a lot of time coming to pit road right there with Todd Cray. Now leading the race is Alan Young. Looks like he's struggling to get off of turn number 2. Struggling to get down on the track, and Kidder goes to the bottom. Kidder gonna go to the bottom, give himself one of his laps back. Now Alan Young gonna come to pit road. What does Jim Thorndike do? Thorndike stays out on track with just 26 laps remaining. Here tonight in the Queen City 118, we've only had one caution flag all night long. Back at about lap number 60, we had our first caution flag, and it looks like everybody on to pit road for their final stop. How long will Thorndike stay out? And just like that, he's going to go ahead, bring it down to pit road, gets it woed up, tries to dive to the inside of the 10 to make up as much time as he can. But Todd Cray, there you see him, already back up to the 3rd position. There you see Alan Young on the apron. He's going to come off. He's going to make that pass, but Nick Hunt, he's going to close in and make a position up as well. That's going to be a battle actually now. Caden Atkins getting it done off of pit road, able to maintain some momentum and keep himself in the fight right there with Alan Young. What will happen to Thorndike? Jim Thorndike losing a ton of ground after staying out 2 extra laps that time by Thorndike. Gonna fall almost outside of your top 5. Thorndike all the way back, now running in the 5th position. No real battle for your race leader. Todd Cray now enjoys a 1.5 second race advantage over Alan Young and Cade Atkins. These dueling truck drivers going back and forth. Now they'll slot in just as they ran before the cycle of green flag pit stops. And as we close in on the 20 laps to go mark here tonight, we'll run down your top 10 here tonight in the Queen City 118 for Swift Motorsports Performance Truck Series Season number 2, race number 4. Driver at the front of the field, leading the most laps here tonight. Lead in hand, well and clear for the driver inside that 21 machine, Todd Cray. Back in the 2nd spot, highly contested, but holding it down right now, Ford driver Cade Atkins. Sitting back in the 3rd spot, you'll find the 86 of Alan Young, trying to repeat the magic of last week, but I don't think he's going to be able to get the job done. Edward Bray sitting right there in the 4th spot. Good solid run here tonight for that 66 machine. Up 15 spots from where he started tonight's race, just inside your top 5. Driver running in that 5th spot, last driver in your top 5, the 59 of Jim Thorndike. 6th spot goes to Lee Staples. There you see Staples trying to make his way around turns 1 and 2, get off the corner, and try to track down Thorndike for that top 5 spot. Driver back in the 7th position out of Charlton, Michigan, the 46-year-old, sponsored by Dragon's Garden in Pure Ink. Out of JB Motorsports, the 44 of Jason Ayerson. Back in the 8th position, Michael Atkins Jr. 9th spot on track as they run the 28 of Ron Schutte. And rounding out your top 10 on the field, now going down 1 lap, the 75 of John McMullen. That's it, race fans. That's your top 10 as they run on track. We continue this long green flag run. Your race leader has now put the majority of the field down 1 lap. There you see that double O going down yet another lap here tonight after being involved in our first and only caution, a calamity coming to pit road during a green flag pit cycle, and Nick Hunt is well off the pace. Slowly closing the distance. He's got enough time, but will he be able to get there? Will he be able to do anything when he does get there? The Ford F-150 piloted by Caden Atkins. He's trying to get to that top spot. He has closed a ton of ground on Todd Cray. Cray having to work his way through the lap traffic, and it looks like Caden navigating his way through that same lap traffic just a little bit faster. Looking at the speed charts, race fans, he's gonna get there. Caden Atkins Jr. is faster than your race leader. Todd Cray running a 30:11 last time by. Caden with a 30:01, so a 10th faster that time by. He sits 6/10 back behind your race leader. You do the math, race fans. A 10th a lap for 6 laps. That brings that battle side by side. Identical lap times. Once again, a 30:11 to Caden's 30:01. So Caden again faster, 1/10 at the line that time by. There you see, looks like he may have given up a little bit of ground this lap. And does indeed actually gives up about 2/10 of a second. Now you can see it beginning to grow. Todd Cray has hit the button. There has got to be a nitrous button or something in there. Closing the distance under 1 second and then absolutely flooring it, throttling away from the field is Todd Cray. And now under fire Caden Atkins. He's going to lose that second spot to Alan Young. The 86 drives right around the 2 to take over that second spot. Both of these drivers still 1.1 second behind your race leader with 13 laps remaining here tonight. Alan Young, don't think he's going to have enough in the tank to get there. I just don't think there's enough time to get up there and make the pass. Might have enough time to get there, but I just don't think he's going to have enough time to try to work that pass. But he has been able to skate away from Caden Atkins a little bit here. Atkins now sitting 6/10 behind Young. So the tires falling off for Caden. He may have pushed just a little too hard. And as we close in on the few remaining laps here tonight, race fans going to go ahead and do a little bit of house cleaning. Looks like 27 drivers took to the field here tonight. We have still got 22 drivers out there on the track, but only 9 drivers left on the lead lap. The 28 of Ron Schutte sitting last driver on the lead lap in that 9th spot. John McMullen in his 75 machine. Good solid run for him, sitting right there in the 10th spot. Don Kidder with a solid recovery after some trouble here tonight, running 1 lap down in the 11th position. No real battles to speak of on the raceway. The one at the front of the field still 7/10 separating your top 2 drivers. So I tell you what, it's not a battle on the lead lap, but we'll go back to this battle right here as Kevin Haas looks to take the 14th spot away from Britt Crawford. Haas down on the bottom of the track. He's going to be able to get the job done. Not a problem at all. But Haas now into the 14th spot. Big time gap in front of Haas if he's going to want to break yet another spot. See if he can't grab a 13th out of tonight. He's 3.8 seconds away from being able to get that done. So we'll watch the timing and scoring. We'll watch as all that unfolds. We'll jump back up front to your race leader, Todd Cray. The 21 continues to lead Alan Young. Young on a hard charge late in the race. Can he somehow wheel his way to that top spot, closing the distance now just under 6/10 of a second as they head back into turn 1 and 2. 7 laps now remaining here tonight from Charlotte Motor Speedway in the Queen City 118. Less than a half a second now separate your top 2 truck drivers on track. Coming down to what may be a shootout in the final laps here from Charlotte Motor Speedway in the Queen City 118 for Swift Motorsports Performance Truck Series off of turn number 4 through the front stretch. High five for the race leader. 5 laps remaining here in a race number 4. These 2 drivers on track at the front of the field, battling it out for who will be the first driver to put their name in victory lane twice so far this season. Both Todd Cray as well as Alan Young going to a victory lane so far this season. Young looking to make it back-to-back race wins here in the Performance Motorsports Truck Series presented by Swift Motorsports iRacing League on iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator. And if you haven't already, race fans, you need to go check out iRacing.com if you want to get it behind one of the wheels of these trucks. K&N cars, Xfinity cars, maybe even a GT3, possibly a Williams F1 style car. Head on over to iRacing.com. He's been able to close the gap, but here in the waning laps of tonight's Charlotte Motor Speedway Queen City 118, Todd Cray has been able to keep them at bay. Popsicle sticks on display. Your race leader. 2 laps remaining for that 21. Now under 4/10 of a second. Separates himself from Alan Young. Back off of turn 2 down the back stretch into turn number 3. Once again, Todd Cray tries to keep Alan Young at bay. Looks like he's going to be able to do so. Edward Bray closing in now on the 3rd place. We might have a battle for that 3rd and final podium spot here on the last lap. White flag flies for your race leader, Todd Cray, down into 1 and 2 for the final time. Back down the back stretch. Gonna have to be a Hail Mary for Alan Young if he's gonna want to get the job done into turn 3 for the final time here tonight. Cray off of 4. Gonna lead Young to the line. Checkered flag in hand. Your race winner, the 21 of Todd Cray. Gonna jump back. Look at how close that was for that final podium spot. Caden Atkins able to do a heck of a job. Keep the fast, hard-charging Edward Bray out of that podium spot. But back at the front, the man of the hour, walking away with the race win. Here tonight from Charlotte Motor Speedway in the Queen City 118, man on screen, the 21 of Todd Cray. And as Cray enjoys a little bit of celebration, gives some of the fans a little bit of a smoke show, we'll get things set up and ready to go for your post-race interview, so don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. The backtrack side as the replay rolls on screen for you. We'll see if we can't catch in a few words with the driver that walked away in the third spot on the podium here tonight. Excuse me, the two of Caden Atkins. Man, it's Dave in the booth. How you doing? You got a copy?
Yep, I'm doing good.
Man, what a race. What a finish. Huh? Great way to kind of get things going here at Charlotte Motor Speedway for you. A good, solid finish here, podium position. How'd the truck feel out there on the track, and did it transition at all the way the car felt moving later on in the night?
It handled pretty good on new tires. I did have to lift into 3 every time, and then as the run came in, I had to start braking into the corner, and I think all the tire saving went on in turns 3 and 4, because that's the one where you had to slow down the most. So I ended up getting tied off the corner and losing a bunch of time to Todd there at the end.
Well, you mentioned losing a little bit of time at the end. Looking back in those final few laps, you had a fast closing Edward Bray coming up on you. Did the thoughts ever cross your mind on whether or not you were going to be able to keep him at bay in those final 3 to 4 laps?
It was definitely on my mind. I had to be really aggressive. I don't usually race like that, but when it comes down to it, I do what I need to do. So I was pinching him in the corner, and I was also running a bit defensive, throwing some blocks. But I'll talk to him after. I don't want him to be like mad at me for that. But yeah, I was just trying to hold on to third.
Well, Caden, man, walking away from the track again, as I said, in a third place. So congratulations on a good, solid finish here tonight. That's definitely going to help you out in the points, especially moving forward. Before we let you go here tonight, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody else on the side of that Precision machine?
Yeah, just Precision Designs for sponsoring me. Go check them out on Instagram, Precision Racing Designs. Great paint schemes. So yeah, that's all.
All right, my man. Well, again, congratulations, and we'll catch up with you a little bit later on in the season.
Hopefully. Thank you.
And there you have it. Caden Atkins walking away in the third and final podium spot here. Driver of the 2 machine making some headway here after race number 4. That's going to lead us into our second place interview. Let's see if we can find him. Let's see if we can't get a hold of him. Let's see if we can't dial up the driver finishing in second here tonight. Alan Young, it's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Got you loud and clear.
Hey, bud, talking to me for the second week in a row, man. Making it a habit, huh?
Actually, it's the 3rd week in a row. I finished second at...
That's correct. You're absolutely right. See, that's why I have you drivers around, to keep me straight.
Yeah.
All right, well, Alan, man, another good, solid finish here. You keep the consistency going. You almost was able to make it back-to-back race wins. Nobody able to do so yet. Todd just barely had you at the end. How close were you there at being able to run him down? We seen it on the speed charts. You were closing. How many more laps do you think you might have needed to go up there and snatch that top spot away?
I think I needed probably a lap or 2 more. When we caught the lap car there towards the end, going into 3, I wasn't able to clear him on entry, and Todd was, and it really was the determining factor in the end of the race, because Todd was able to scoot away that tiny little bit and get away from me.
Well, looking back at the start of tonight's race, you came into tonight leading the points, a good solid second place finish here for you. Todd was a little bit behind you there in the point standings. Looking at things over there as they unfolded under these first 4 races here, Alan, do you think it's going to be a shootout between you and Todd? I mean, both of you right there consistently week in, week out, podium finishes all the time. And you guys are both, well, right there probably in the top 2 spots after tonight's points get calculated.
Yeah, it's going to be a good battle coming down to the end of the year. Definitely finish the year out strong. We got a long ways to go still. My mindset is just finish the year strong and then get in the chase and just turn up the wick and just keep the solid runs going and just I want to get some more wins and just prove that I'm not here to finish second every week and that I can get some more wins and just not be a second place finisher all year.
Well, man, I can attest to this. I am sure the field and the race fans all know you're not here to finish second. That's for sure. So once again, congratulations on a great finish here tonight, even though it may be that second spot. Once again, Alan, heck of a job, heck of a run here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Before we let you go, you want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody else on the side of that 86 truck?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank you for broadcast. It's awesome broadcast. I go back and watch it after the race is done. And everyone at Swift Motorsports, thanks for having me aboard. I wasn't sure how it would go this year, but I'm glad I joined. My sponsors, FSM Customs, Young Guns Creations, LA Sim Sports, John, Lee, Ed, them guys. I can't say enough for them. My parents, my brother, and my kids, and that's about it.
All right, Alan. Well, again, my man, congratulations on yet another podium finish, and we look forward to continuing this trend up throughout the rest of the season. You have yourself a good night, and we'll catch up with you next week.
Hopefully we'll be in the same spot next week, and you have a good night.
There you have it. Final words from the driver walking away from the track in the second position here tonight from Charlotte Motor Speedway, the Queen City 118, and that's going to lead us in to your race winning interview, walking away with the race win for the second time this season. Todd Crates, Dave in the booth, you got a copy?
Hey, Dave, got you loud and clear, buddy.
Well, got me loud and clear. Second time, only driver to go to victory lane multiple times this season. How do you feel after accomplishing that, and how do you feel after yet another race win?
Yeah, that was a pretty solid race right there. A lot of green flag laps, green flag pit stops early on. I know Austin was saved his stuff and was putting a run on us. I'm not sure what happened to him. I think maybe something coming off the pit road. But yeah, the second run, I saved my stuff and really stretched it out. And then once the cautions hit, I kind of changed things up a little bit there. The guys were going hard, running my tires a little harder than I wanted to. I don't know if, I had that last pit stop. I wasn't sure if Alan had a little bit fresher tires, but he was definitely coming. And, the last 10 laps was white knuckle and hit your marks and try to finish it off.
Well, man, you went up there and you snatched the race lead a little bit early here tonight. You were able to pretty much maintain it, as you said there. You had that late race caution in the restart. I noticed you had a little bit of trouble there at the start of the race getting going. Did you change anything for those few restarts?
Not really. Like I said, it's about trying not to run too hard. It does get loose a little bit right off the start. I thought I was actually saving the first run there, but the guys were saving more behind me. So, but me and Atkins were hanging out up there early on. Like I said, Austin came up there, made it fun. And then the last half of the race, Alan and Caden came up there, made it fun. I know a couple other guys were in the mix, and some lap cars played into it. Green flag pit stops, restarts. Pretty much had a little bit of everything. So it feels good when you can get a win when you put it all together.
Absolutely. I'm sure it does. I haven't had that opportunity very much here on the iRacing platform, but competition is stiff, and as you've proved, you got to be on your A game at all times. Want to look forward just a little bit here, Todd. You came into tonight third in the points. Tonight's winning race gonna do well to get you right there, possibly taking over the points lead, but heading to Atlanta Motor Speedway, a very tough track, a very abrasive track. How do you go from a fast 1.5 mile track like this to one that is just so rough on the tires next week?
I think a lot of it has to do with mindset. You know, you got to come in and understand, you know, what you need to do to not only eat, but to be able to be there at the end. And a lot of that is, you know, taking care of your car, um, doing some testing to see what, you know, exactly how much is going to be falling off on the tires, and keep an eye on everybody else and try to make the right moves. Like you said, you have to make the right moves. You have to be good on your pit stops. You have to have some short speed. You have to have some long speed to win these races. So, and you got to have luck. You know what I mean? So we had some of that tonight as well. Some of the guys, you know, a lot of the guys out there, a lot of give lap cars and stuff. So really appreciate that. And all in all, just a fun race. And we're just going to keep moving on and do the same thing. Try to do next week like we did this week.
Absolutely. Well, again, Todd, it's been a pleasure watching you all night long, all season long so far here. So, again, congratulations on the race win, putting your name in the winners column twice so far this season. Before we let you go and have any more celebrations, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of that 21 truck?
We always start with the guys at Swift Motorsports. We're putting on a great show at Performance Motorsports Truck Series. It's a fun series. Competitions picking up, so that's really cool. Turn 3 Racing Network, obviously, putting the broadcast on. I love going back, watching the broadcast, and checking out the race. It's really cool. Pets in Paradise, People Against Distracted Driving. My cousin Jessica here in New Jersey, my #1 fan. She's always checking me out, so put that one out there for her. I think that's about it.
All right, my man. Well, again, congratulations. Great race win. And we'll look forward to catching up with you a little bit later in the season.
Sounds good. Thank you, Dave.
There you have it. Final words from the driver walking away with his second victory of the season here in Swift Motorsports Performance Motorsports Truck Series. Man, what a great race for that driver right there, the 21 of Todd Cray, walking away with the race win yet again. Multiple drivers caught up in some trouble here tonight in the Beast of the Southeast Charlotte Motor Speedway. Again, lives up to her name. Great race under the lights here tonight. Looks like few of the truck drivers slowly beginning to get into the hauler, so that means we'll begin to wrap things up here from the production booth. Man, what a race it was. I just can't get over the long green flag runs these drivers had, and just how aggressive multiple drivers were with the passes. I know. Sounds like producers have had enough of my mouth. They're ready to get down to some official business. Your unofficial race results for tonight's Queen City 118 race number 4 in season number 2 in the Performance Motorsports Truck Series, presented to you by Swift Motorsports. Walking away, second win of the season, the 21 of Todd Cray. Slotting home in second with yet another podium position, the 86 of Alan Young. Caden Atkins breaking into the podium spots here tonight. That 2 machine gonna walk away from the track in third. Edward Bray gonna bring his 66 machine home in the 4th spot. Jim Thorndike gonna finish in 5th. Lee Staples brings his 5 home in the 6th spot. Jason Ayrson walking away from the track in 7th. 8th spot goes to Michael Atkins Jr. Ron Schutte gonna finish in the 9th spot. And rounding out your top 10 first driver, scored 1 lap down, the 75 of John McMillan. The 6 of Ryan Branchew gonna walk away from the track in 11th. 12th goes to Don Kidder. Sebastian Coogan gonna finish in 13th. 14th goes to Kevin Haas. Britt Crawford gonna finish in the 15th spot. Stephen Ayers Jr., the 62 machine, walking away in 16th. John McMillan gonna finish in 17th. Brian Hitz walking away from the track in the 18th spot. 19 goes to Larry Bowling. Andy Starcher, after some trouble, finds himself 3 laps down, back in the 20th spot. The 10 of David Cameron gonna finish in 21st. Nick Hunt, the Popeyes machine, had some trouble but soldiered on the rest of the night, finishing 5 laps down. The 00 of Nick Hunt gonna walk away in the 22nd spot. 23rd goes to Jimmy Cormier, and Chris Scala finishing in 24th. 25th goes to Toby Bird. Austin Hill, after a hard run at the beginning of the race, trouble struck, and that 16 machine out of tonight's race, 88 laps down, back in the 26th spot. Jim Ott gonna be scored 115 laps down after some trouble, finishing in the 27th spot. And a big time shout out to those last 2 drivers listed: Justin Gang, Gary Wells. Big shout out, hats off, and thank you for all the hard work up there in the race control booth, keeping all of these Swift Motorsports drivers in line. And man, what a race it was, race fans. What a night here tonight. And as the music slowly begins to fade away in the background, that's going to leave us with not very much left to do except keep you informed about tomorrow night. That's right, we're back once again, same time, same channel, for Swift Motorsports RB Rigs Xfinity Series. They're gonna head off to Chicagoland for another great race in the RB Rigs Custom Computers Xfinity Series tonight. What a great race it was for the Performance Motorsports Truck Series, presented to you by Swift Motorsports here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. If you haven't already, race fans, throw these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right hand side. Get notified anytime we go live on the Turn 3 Racing Network. With that being said, race fans, new day, new year. Let's stay safe, stay loved. Until next time, we'll see ya in Turn 3.